This is a steal for the Cincinnati Bengals. It is official. Noah Fant has signed and is joining a tight end room led by Mike Gesicki. We're going to break down why this is such a big deal and why it's going to elevate an already elite offense to be unstoppable. Welcome to the jungle. This is Isaac Coffman with Bengals Digest. So happy to see you and all you Bengals fans. We are so close to the regular season coming up. We appreciate each one of you. If you have not already, make sure you're subscribed to get all the breaking news as it comes out by smashing that subscribe button. Join in on the community. There's so much to discuss, a lot of players to keep an eye on as we're in the midst of training camp, and we want to hear from you guys. We appreciate each one of you, and we're on our way to 3,000 subscribers. I think we can get there before the first game of the season. So again, make sure you smash that button if you have not already and join in on the community. Join in on the discussion. There's going to be so much excitement around this Bengals team. One being the breaking news. Noah Fant, who was recently released by the Seahawks. He is a former first-round pick. He's got a lot of physical tools where he can enable this offense led by Joe Burrow, be an extra weapon when they get into the red zone. I just see a bunch of touchdowns coming out of this. This is exciting to see. Already have Mike Gesicki on the team, but you can never have too much depth, especially when it comes to the tight end position. They have had those types of injuries in the past. So to see this official, he is officially a Cincinnati Bengal. Great news if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan. This is just great to see. I'm all for this signing. I was excited to see when he was visiting. He was in camp. There was other visits, other teams he was going to visit, but it is official. The Bengals have an picture of him signing and everything. So this is absolutely exciting to see. I can't wait to see what kind of results are going to be coming up in the upcoming season. This offense is already electric. It's already got so many weapons on it, and that's the type of tight end he is. He's going to be that offensive weapon, really good at yards after the catch. Mike Gesicki is more of that slot receiver, but he plays the tight end position. You put them both together, I see big things coming from the Cincinnati Bengals offense that is already regarded as good, but this is something you can't go wrong. Why not double down? Why not get a guy like him when he was just released? And he has said as much in the past. He has tweeted how much respect he has had for Joe Burrow, how he is the real deal. That was a tweet he put out a few years ago. So let's go. This guy wants to be here. This guy wants to play for the team. Last year, people might point at, he wasn't one that's going to jump off the stat sheets just to kind of go over. He was 48 receptions, 500 yards for a touchdown. Those don't really jump out, but it goes back to, this was a former first rounder. He was in the 2019 draft. He was 20 overall. And that was the same year as Drew Sample. Just a little fun fact to throw in there. This was the same year that he was drafted. He was with the Broncos for 3 years, and then the last 3 years, he was with the Seahawks. So I don't think this is a bad move because they signed him officially for 1 year. That's a deal that they got him for, and that's what I was hoping for. This isn't a guy that's going to be long-term. He wants to rebound. With those stats, that tells you that he had a down year. But with a 1 year prove it deal, that's something that he is going to go out there and just ball. I could see it. I can see him really putting up the numbers, wanting to get that next contract. It may be with the Bengals, but it doesn't have to be. Remember that they do have Eric All in the system. He got injured. He is going to be out for the year. So you almost view him as that replacement. And that's actually what Zac Taylor was kind of talking about, how this is another weapon that they need. This is someone that they need to add. You have Mike Gesicki, obviously, but Tanner Hudson has been inconsistent at times. I really like Tanner Hudson. He's just not a complete blocker. He's pretty much an extra receiver more than that tight end. So Noah Fant, he hasn't been known for his blocking either, but he can get down and dirty, so to say. That's what tight ends should be doing for you. But again, this is going to be a signing on his receiving, that yards after the catch. That's what he's known for. He's really fast for a tight end. So that's what makes this extra exciting. And this is what Zac Taylor, again, he said it was a good fit, but they talked to him. It was actually breaking that Noah Fant was signed when Zac Taylor was in the press conference. But this is what he had to say concerning the signing of Noah Fant. Zac Taylor goes on to say, he gives you even more flexibility. You got a player that's really a plus player in both the run and the pass. And so at the point of attack, blocking, backside of blocking, and protection can help you, but also really explosive as a receiver. Great size, great explosiveness, really good hands, tough to bring down. I think that's another weapon. Anytime we can add weapons like that, and Eric All played that role for us last year as well. So again, we really feel good about where with our tight end room. So Zac Taylor has a lot of confidence in his blocking ability. I think that's a knock on him, is he's not going to be this elite blocker for you. He does all right, but that's just not his strength. He's going to be more of that receiver, but he seems to have a lot of confidence in Noah Fant. That's something I'm all for. Maybe they feel like the coaching staff can get him up and to speed. But this is a win. This is absolutely a win. As you brought out, Eric All was kind of that. He was all. He lived up to his name in a sense. He was still a rookie last year, but it goes on to, you got to replace that. You got to have somebody as a backup, and having him on a 1-year deal. This is just a win all around, because I know Noah Fant wants to go out there and prove it. He wants to show, hey, I'm this former first round. I know I can be one of these top tight ends. That's just how these players are. But the Bengals don't want to sign him long term. You got Eric All coming back, and I think it's a win-win, because if Eric All doesn't come back ready next year, who knows? They might feel he is a long-term solution. So this is just a great win. I'm really excited to see the Bengals actually reach out, get a guy like this, because there's been talks all the time of, the Bengals don't sign these players that they should. That really takes them to the next level. They're content staying with their team. This is a great example of that, and I don't believe that narrative. Look back at the free agent signings that they've had in the past. The Super Bowl run, you had Mike Hilton, you had Trey Hendrickson, you had Chidobe Awuzie. Those guys were all free agents. They all came into the system. They weren't drafted. So this is another way to put that narrative to rest, that the Bengals aren't willing to just go out there and get a player that can elevate them. It remains to be seen. Again, he's got to go out there and produce. He had that down year last year, but I'm confident not being that number one tight end. He's going to be at least the number 2, maybe number 3 behind Drew Sample. Drew Sample is more of that blocking tight end, and that's why this is such a great signing. You don't need an all-around absolute. It'd be great, but if you get a guy that can kind of complement Drew Sample, Drew Sample has been used as a fullback, kind of that extra blocker at times. He can be the receiver, but again, he's more of that blocking tight end. Noah Fant is going to be that backup to Mike Gesicki. And who knows, you get those double tight ends formations. It's exciting. That's what's got me really pumped, is now you can really open up the playbook. A lot like what Zac Taylor was going on. He gives you that extra weapon for Joe Burrow. It's just, how do you stop these guys? They're going to be unstoppable. I mean, they've got the depth there at receiver. Wide receiver has been a strength, of course, but why not go out? Why not look at your other areas? The tight end, the running back room is another one I think is going to be overlooked this year. It's exciting to look at. The one area that's going to continue to get a lot of attention is that offensive line. I do think they could go out there, and maybe that's where they can really focus in on the depth. It remains to be seen. Again, there's a lot of young guys in camp. Maybe someone emerges. But other than that, you can't fault this Bengals team for what they've been doing in signing guys, at making sure they are ready to go and have that depth, because injuries happen. You got to have depth if you're going to make a run to the playoffs. So it's a great day for the Bengals. It's great to see this signing. I cannot wait to see what he can do, especially again with those formations. It's got me very interested in what kind of plays and how they can use him, especially in the red zone, especially that yards after the catch kind of guy. Look out. He could be a kind of that sleeper that defenses lose track of. Again, you got so many weapons to go to. How do you cover everybody? But we want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this signing of Noah Fant? Do you think it was a good signing? Again, it was for 1 year. We're still waiting on the details on the financial side of things, but we want to hear from you guys. Is this add to the Bengals offense to make them unstoppable? Comment below. And again, if you have not already, be sure you are subscribed. We are on our way to 3,000 subscribers. We thank each one of you. We appreciate each one of you. So that's going to do it for now. As we say, guys, Hoo day.